these gigantic fiberglass figures. Where do these things come from? How are they made? Well, we're going to find out. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Hey y'all, Carolina Tony here. Today the road brings us to Natural Bridge, Virginia, and we are here at the
Enchanted Castle Studios.
That's it. It's a long word.
You try to write it out on a check.
Yeah. And we are here with world famous Mark Cline. He is the creator of the Giant Muffler Man.
Well, I tell you what, there's several of them out there. I didn't originally build them, but I'm creating a whole new generation of them, and several of them are out on Route 66. So if you're out that way, you'll see a bunch of them out there. But there's a lot more. So chances are, if you've seen one, if you've been to south of the border, which is near my home, you've seen his work. And today, Mark is going to show us around, tell us a little bit about the process of making these things, how it's done. Also, we're going to go to another one of his big creations, is Dinosaur Kingdom 2. So you're in for a real big treat there. Well, when we do go down there, I do have two rules. The first is have fun, and the second is try not to get eaten. We'll do that for sure. Because that probably spoil rule number one. I just have to remember this. I have to run faster than her. There you go. All right. Anyway, right after this, we'll get started right after this station identification. Okay, they are rolling over. Now we are going to roll over this way. Okay, this is what gets a little tricky. Okay. She is going to a new campground. It's on the banks of the Mississippi. She's going to be Pirates of the Mississippi. And she was a Uniroyal gal. And she was one of the original Uniroyal gals. Yeah. And I think there was only like 12 in existence. So she came out of Maryland. She was in Maryland, and then she went to Route 66. She went to the Pink Elephant Antique Mall. And so a guy named Dave Hammond, and he owns the Antique Mall. And I did some work for him several years ago. So I asked him, I said, look, this Uniroyal gal, I said, is there any chance that you would loan her to me so I can make a mold off of it? Because I've got several people that want her. So that's how it's done. You take an original and make a mold. Yeah. Well, on this particular case. Well, I mean, but now if it doesn't exist, I will make something that doesn't exist. Right. I mean, look at all this stuff around here. I mean, we made the wizard. I make several of these skulls. So is this? This is a duplicate. That's the duplicate. Yeah. So this was made out of a mold and the mold was very complex. The mold was made up out of several pieces, probably about maybe 30 pieces of the mold. Right. So, and anyway, and then this was just brought to me from Texas. There are the muffler men that are the cowboys. Yes. So this is the hat. We brought a mold here and then made our own out of the mold. So this one's going to go back down to Texas, and Joel Baker's getting one of these for one of his cowboys up at the Route 66 Museum that's going to open next year. Yeah. So this is the brim. Yeah, the brim of it. See, right behind you, we got another one. Yeah. She has she has her own pirate hat too. Right. That's the other. I'll show that to you. Okay. Well, we took that off for transportation purposes. You ready to flip it, buddy? So we're ready. So you'll see, part of the arm here. Yeah. You can see her boot. So you just what do you use to make that? You just mold it around it? All fiberglass also, yes. Come on in. So, Mark, how long have you been
creating this type of
Oh.
stuff?
Well, I've been prop building ever since I was a little kid. Because when I was in elementary school, I was a slow learner, so they put me in the slow learning class. But they took me out of that class and put me in this other class called guidance, which they taught me how to do paper mache and different things like that. Which was a good thing because it was my fourth grade teacher. She took me aside and realized that I was different. But I recently took her out to lunch, actually about 3 weekends ago.
Really?
Yeah, she's 84 years old.
That is cool.
I finally gave her apple. Now, believe it or not, okay, this is I'm getting this ready for a big event. Of course, this is the Rolling Stones. Of course, on Labor Day, I'll be playing Mick Jagger.
Okay. I can see the resemblance. I can see the resemblance,
all right,
yeah.
Okay. Now, here you go. I can't get no satisfaction. But back in the 80s, I used to imitate Mick Jagger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's back when we both looked good in spandex. But I'm 63 now, and he's 82 or something like that. So I guess as long as he has a career, I think I do.
Yeah, there you go.
This is like, I mean, it's like a shrunk down Mount Rushmore here.
It
like
is.
I've decapitated all these heads, but no, that's not the fact. I actually am. A lot of people just want the heads.
Yes.
And so we've got this one, which is one of the original Muffler Men heads. Well, it's a duplicate of one of the originals. This is what is known as the Indian Brave. Come around this way. And I've got a couple of these going out. One of the guys from what's that? American Pickers. He's ordering some of these heads. He's ordering one of these. We've got a couple of these Indian heads, and Joel Baker is getting these. And I just got off the phone with him, and he's opening up the Route 66 Museum. It's going to be ready for the 100th anniversary. But traditionally, the Paul Bunyan had the yellow hat.
Yes.
So this one's going to go up to a museum in Cleveland, a muscle car museum. So
what are they made out of?
Fiberglass.
Fiberglass. Okay. Some of them I have to make these hats. These didn't exist on the original ones. So making these hats up, so I can put your ball team on it, or whatever. Now the Pirate Girl, she's getting some of these items to hold in her hand.
Right.
See how big this is up close. So originally we were going to have her, with her hand up in the air, we are going to have her holding the sword. But the sword would have been too heavy. It would have caught the wind. Caught the wind, and it would have weakened the wrist. Right. So we got to think about a lot of these things as we're building them, and how they're gonna react in the long run. So here's another Uniroyal gal. So we've got two of these going, and here's the Pirate Girl's hat. So you'll see this was specifically made up for. There we go. For her.
So now there's this hat, is it like the hat that was on it when you got it, or did you have to fabricate this hat?
No, I had to make this myself.
Okay.
Yes, she didn't have.
Because she didn't have
She typically does not wear a hat.
Okay.
So, but the man wanted her to be a pirate girl. So he was gracious enough to loan me, the statue, and so I'm delivering it back to him as the pirate girl.
Oh.
So you carve your mold? Do you carve your molds?
I carve my original pieces out of foam or wire. Like you're going to be seeing my dinosaur park here very shortly. And most of those dinosaurs were made out of chicken wire to begin with, and I fiberglass over them because they're just so huge. And I'm not going to make a whole lot of those, so a lot of times I won't make a mold. They're one-shot deals. So then I'll fiberglass over them, and then we take them down and display them. A lot of my business is just fixing this stuff. I fly all over the country just to repair these things. In fact, that's what I was doing yesterday. I was up in Baltimore and looking at one that needs to be repaired. And then I took back some repaired pieces one was to a theme park called the Enchanted Forest, and the other was to the Yogi Bear campground.
You do those?
I used to do them.
Okay.
I used to do a lot of the Yogi Bear statues from 1995 to 2005 or 2006. And but I was building a Yogi Bear statue a few years ago, and I cut this finger off building a Yogi.
No.
Yeah, what big teeth you have, Yogi? I thought he was a friendly bear.
Yeah.
But took my finger right off. I was cutting, and there it was laying on the ground. I looked down and said, well, it's going to take a lot more than duct tape this time to make this work. So,
Well, you're fortunate that you have it.
yeah, they put it on backwards, though. I'm kidding. Come here, let me show you a couple other things.
Yeah, that lady in the lake, as you see her face and her legs come out of the water, is that right?
Yeah, right. So this is the original piece.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this was made out of foam, and after we made it out of foam, we fiberglassed over top of it. So this is actually the reverse mold. This is the positive.
Yeah.
But you can see her nose and her eye over here and her lips. But this goes to show you how big she is.
Yeah.
Like her head is a total of 13.5 feet tall.
Wow.
Which means if she actually stood out of the water, she'd be about 2 times taller than the actual Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
And we're getting this ready for a Labor Day parade. So this will be in a parade in a couple days. So we still need to put some fringe on it. And of course, it's for the Republicans.
Of course.
But you know, I'm not going to say what my political standing is, other than this would have had a donkey on it if they would have paid me more money.
It's all about the money.
So we're getting ready. We're getting ready for that.
It's a huge
we do a lot of haunted stuff.
Yeah.
You got some monsters over here. All this fiberglass. Some of this stuff is repair work I need to do for south of the border.
Yeah.
But
I saw where y'all are now doing ghost tours.
yeah, I do those I'm doing them tonight.
Yeah.
I'm doing one tonight and tomorrow night. I do them every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I saw where you've got a van so people don't have to walk.
Well, we're doing that only one day a month.
Uh-huh.
We don't do that every night.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Here's one that's finished.
Oh, thank you.
Several more of these heads. And they're about ready to come out of here and be delivered.
Hey, look. Here's Haunted Elvis. Thank you very much. Guillotine.
Yeah. I did some work for Alice Cooper a few years ago, and he used
really?
a guillotine similar to that.
Uh-huh.
Never met Alice. I understand he's a really nice guy. Loves to golf.
Oh,
Loves
I
to
heard
drink
that.
and golf. Well, I think he gave up the drinking. These we recently rented. These were used for, I rented them to an English couple, and they had sort of a mock coronation when when Prince Charles became king.
And King Charles?
So I rented these to her.
We saw just a few minutes ago the Oscar, and here's the mold for him.
We also do other parade floats like this. We do every year. in some of the local hometowns, and this is the Grinch float, which we use. We got Max here. Max hangs on the edge of the sleigh, and we have the music that plays and shoots snow out on the audience. And then the Grinch is on the sleigh, and he runs back and forth on the platform. So this is Mount Crumpet. So the Grinch runs back and forth up there to try to keep the load from going off, just like in the cartoon.
Yes.
So, and that's a big thrill for the people that come up to these Christmas parades, because we do a performance. We don't just sit on the back of a float and wave to people and throw them candy. We give them a show. And same thing with this. This is the Willy Wonka. You can see this is, of course, the storage and everything else. It's got a lot of the props here, and the Oompa Loompa appears up there, and the squirrels, they dump the nuts down into the vat, and steam comes out, and they spin it. It spins around, and the candy rolls around.
Wow,
So,
talk about creativity.
So, and then, of course, Willy Wonka gets on the bicycle, mixes up the batter. The badder you are, the better the butter. That means your butt gets battered more.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not sure how that works out.
So
This is going up onto
animatronic.
the top of a building at Dinosaur Kingdom 2. When you go down there, you'll see a big eggplant. Well, what this is, it's a plant that, like a factory with the eggs that come through.
Yeah.
Okay, so this pteranodon will be laying the eggs, and the eggs will be going through, and then they go down and they load up into a covered wagon to supply to the Confederate troops.
Okay. Well, that is going to do it for our trip to Enchanted Castle Studios in Natural Bridge, Virginia. I want to thank Mark for showing us around. It has really been interesting. I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as we did. If you did, be sure to give us a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.